It's actually more than a piece of cloth that we put on
Like
our body. Statement piece, you will never retire.
probably my hair.
What advice would you give a younger person?
To follow your own heart and don't listen to people. Fashion for me is being honest to the person, to yourself, and to the people that you're designing for.
What was the most fun and sustainable dress that you made?
When I made for the Miss Universe Ireland for it was the national costume.
How do I get over the fear of people judging what I wear?
Start with something small. Start with one little quirky thing that you like.
Before we jump in, if the conversations like this matters to you, we bring on people who are shaping conscious fashion, sustainability, and intentional living without the noise or performative talk. So if you would like more conversations like this, take a second to subscribe to the Sheen Webisodes. It helps the show reach the right people, and it allows us to keep bringing conscious voices to the table. You can also share this webisode with someone who would appreciate. All right, let's get into it. Hey, and welcome back to Sheen Webisodes. We got our wonderful and beautiful guest, Claire Garvey. Welcome to the show, Claire.
Even with my technical problems, I managed to log on. So delighted to be here.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing well, yeah. There's a storm actually warning in Dublin at the moment. So I'm in my shop and I've got the doors bolted and waiting for the storm to arrive. So apart from that, working away and everything is good, yeah.
I see you look phenomenal.
Oh, I love, they're kind of based on Russian cosmetics, the hairstyle. I've always been interested in crafting hair pieces. Anything that I can add texture, drama to, I can't leave it alone. So I figure my own hair, I might as well do that as well. So it's a good addiction, I think.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's one of the most unique style I have seen in our industry. People are having, you know, it's good to be different.
So I think it's good. Like when I was younger, I was so nervous and shy, and I used to look at people. I remember seeing, I think it was Boy George on television. I don't know if you know Boy George, but seeing the drama of somebody who was able to kind of wear what they wanted to wear and be themselves. And I never thought I'd have the confidence. And then I went to the National College of Art, which was in Dublin, and all these people were expressing themselves. And it just gave me the confidence to be who I am. Like, and I don't think I even own a pair of trousers. So.
Wow, that's super cool. I mean, these are the things that shape us in the way that we are, you know.
Yeah, I
and
think so because you start out in life and you don't know who you are, and it's a long process of finding out who you are. Like, and feeling comfortable in what you wear is so important as well. And everything I wear is upcycled or recycled, or even if I'm working on my own designs, I end up cutting up half of the clothes I have on that day. I have to go home with like a shorter skirt, the shoelaces,
wow,
my shoes, the boots, everything. I am incapable of leaving anything alone. So yeah. I live in an interesting house. My husband has to lock everything away. There was a funny story with him. I was working away on something. I think it was for Burning Man, and it was late at night.
okay.
He did a big kind of shoulder strap, and I was looking at my husband's big work bag, and the strap on it was perfect for what I had to do. And like, I just cut it off and put it on my. And then I felt so bad, I found a lady's handbag strap and I put it on instead for him. And the next morning, I was in huge trouble. So now he hides everything. So, yeah. Nothing is safe. But that's
wow.
getting, so a thief, a creative thief, maybe.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, uh, with having a creative minds like yours, it's very, first of all, hard to sit around. And when you get some ideas, you wanted to act on it. You wanted to see, you wanted to create how it's gonna be,
Oh,
right?
it's totally that way. And I was always like that. I won, when I was in college, I won the Smirnoff Young Designer. And all my pieces, I
Mm-hmm.
took all the coat hangers out of my room and all my
Mm-hmm.
clothes on the floor and made the headpieces out of the coat hangers. And then I grilled fabrics under the grill because the texture was, I became a pyromaniac as well. You got gorgeous texture from lames and fabric. So
Yeah.
it's almost like being a mad scientist in a way. I hate the idea of mass produced rolls of fabric that have no soul and no story to them. Whereas a coat hanger that I had my clothes on, or acorns or pine cones that you find in the garden, they all have a story to them, and that is what inspires me. Never ever rolls of fabric. They just look dead to me and soulless. So,
Yeah, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, Claire Garvey is one of the most interesting personalities we'll be having a pleasure to speak on our webisodes. And Claire, I want, there's so many things that I'm so interested to know about your journey and everything, but we'll start from the beginning. From those watching from home who might not be familiar with you yet, please share about who you are, what you do, and why this conversation is the one they should be listening to.
well, I'm an Irish sustainable fashion designer, and I'm not one who jumped on the bandwagon of sustainability. I always lived that way, and ever since I was a young child, I made things out of things I found. I've got my own shop in Temple Bar in Cows Lane. It's kind of, you can see a little bit of it behind me. It's very non-minimalist. And I like the idea that maybe the way I am and look is the way my clothes are, so that there's a very definite link. Everything I do is from my heart. Every piece is a one-off piece as well. I don't believe in mass production. And as I was saying about fabrics, if you mass produce something, the soul disappears in that as well. So I've been lucky enough to design for a lot of musicians and singers, and I bought my shop 3 years ago after 24 years renting. And I suppose the reason people should listen
Yeah.
to this is because if I can do that, and I can make a living
Mm-hmm.
from it, looking and being as ridiculous as I am, that anybody, if they follow their heart, can do it 100%. You just gotta not listen to people. Maybe that's why I have this hairstyle that blocks out people saying things to me that you have to conform or you have to be a certain way. You follow your heart, and I'm hopefully testimony that that's happened. And so for anybody out there thinking it's driving, that's why maybe you should watch.
Yeah. That's such a beautiful message. I love that you have built your entire creative world from authenticity and especially from the heart.
It's
So Claire, I'm sorry, come again?
so important to do it from your heart. And if you don't, I
Yeah.
think it shows in the work. I really do. I think the right person
Mm-hmm.
follows and goes to the right piece, that just waits for the right person. And you know it in your heart. It's like I try never, it's
Hmm.
never about the money. And I know you have to have a business, but if you start thinking about the money, you actually don't make it because your soul goes out of it. You have to do it from the heart. And I've always worked that way. And you have to do something that gives you pleasure, because if it doesn't give you pleasure, it's not going to give the customer pleasure either, hopefully.
Right. 100%. So Claire, take us back for a moment. What first drew you to wardrobe art and this bold maximalist approach to fashion?
I suppose my mum is an artist and a painter. And, when I was like 5, 6 years old, I was,
Mm-hmm.
surrounded by her painting. And we used to go to her painting classes, and I remember I was always drawing little fairies and little angels, and my mum still has all those pictures, and it's very interesting looking at them because the little fairies,
Okay.
they might have little skirts on, but they've got little matching socks and, all bracelets and all the details that obviously is in my head constantly. And it was just, I remember when I was about 7 years old, I sent pictures of my designs to Mary Quant. Mary Quant had a doll called Daisy, and she designed the outfits for that. And I loved the doll Daisy. She was much cooler than the doll Cindy, if you know the two dolls, but you might not. And Mary Quant sent me a signed autograph back and said she'd keep me in mind for the future. So that was when I was 7 years old. I wanted to be a designer, and used to have the little cutout dolls and, cut out the make little dresses for them. And so there was like, I was
Yeah.
unemployable in anything else. There's nothing else I could do. Nobody would employ me anyway. So I'm self-employed. I've always been self-employed. And yeah, it's just in my dreams,
I wanted to ask you something. I believe I might have, again, a pleasure to have about more than 15 designers on this Webisodes. Almost one thing in common with all of you is all of you started from very early age. It's not like you heard from somewhere and then you started the designing stuff. It's just naturally in you. You see things in a creative way. You create things in a very creative way. So, but you also say it's never too late and you always motivate people so they can start. What about a person who thinks that they're not so creative for being a designer? What should they do?
Everybody has their skills in designing. Like, I'm not the best at sewing. That wouldn't be my best skill. My best skill is embellishing and embroidery. And if you look at all the different designers, there are designers who make minimalist clothes, who make simpler clothes. The worst thing you can do is say, for example, oh my God, I'm not creative. I have to try and be creative. That's the worst thing. You have to say, what are my strengths? What am I good at? If you're really good at clean lines and simplicity and paring something down, or maybe, doing something very, very simply, then that's the way to go. Don't try and change. I sometimes look at minimalist designers and I think, how do they do that? Like, sometimes I wish,
Yeah.
God, I wish I could create something simple that you just zip up and off you go. If I did it, I wouldn't do it half as good as they do. So it's not about being creative, and it's not about, I could hit myself over the head and say I'm not the best of all the sewers out there. But no, I find the things that I'm best at. And your team, you find a team, hopefully, that will help you. I've said before, it's like a table. You've got your 4 legs, and you're only one of them. And if you can get people around you who can help with the bits that they're strongest with, then it becomes a really big, good, strong team. And never, ever think you can't do it, because nobody's the same. I love minimalist design. I just can't do it. So.
Yeah. So that's the thing you know about yourself. How can I find out what I'm good at it?
I think you just go back to, first of all, what are you wearing? What do you like wearing? The very first front cover of a magazine my designs got was I was wearing one of my own outfits. And the stylist was in a car, and she stopped the car and she said to me, where did you get that outfit? And I said, oh, well, it's one of mine. And she ended up then putting it on the front cover of an Irish magazine. So look at what you're wearing yourself. Look at what films you like. Look at what inspires you generally in life. I mean, I go to a restaurant with my husband and I see cocktail stirrers and I think, oh my God, I, I have to make a bodice out of them. And it might not be that for you. You might be inspired by old movies or, you know, anything. So it's finding what your interests are generally and then translating it to fashion. And it's much easier than you think, you know. I made a dress out of spaghetti before, and I love spaghetti. So, you know, I was eating spaghetti, and then I thought, oh, what about drying the spaghetti and making a bodice out of it? And so they all link up. Everything should link up. Being a designer shouldn't be separate to the other parts of your life. And once you link
Yeah.
up those bits, it becomes easier. And also, if you make a mistake, in my mind, there isn't a mistake, you know? The worst
Hmm.
mistakes I've made have sometimes been the best outfits I've made. You can't be too precious about your pieces either. So that's what there was a fashion show where the model went out in my corset and she put it on upside down by mistake. And it looked far better than it did the right way around, you know. So don't be too precious and trust the instinct and you'll get there, you know.
Claire, at this era, we all, especially Gen Z and on social media, we go or we attract towards minimalist wardrobes, minimalist designs, and most of the time we prefer minimalism on designs, or especially for we're talking about in the sense of our clothes. But the designs that you make, and I also introduced as maximalist designers, how would that approach is? Why, how would you convince, or how would you present yourself to the people so they also look at the maximalist designs as a way that that is good too, that is something unique too, that we can try on, or something like that?
Too many people are clones of each other, and it's so lovely to express yourself. When I wear what I wear, I bring people smile. I'm not sure if they're laughing with me or happy, but I bring happiness. And I think I have people that come into the shop and they literally only want like a little collar or something. But once they come
Hmm.
in and they try something on and they try something else, their confidence grows and they become a different person. And I think you have to, expressing yourself, we express ourselves in everything else we do. And it's sort of sad now not to express yourself in clothes, you know. People now express their gender so much. And, you know, there's a gender fluid thing now where everybody should be able to wear what they want, and guys can wear whatever, and girls, it should be gender fluid and unisex. So I think by me being me and wearing what I do and showing that I'm happy wearing it, that hopefully I spread the word. And also the fact that I've been here 24 years and the people who want what I do seem to come to me. And the shop has fairy lights and flashing lights. So anybody who doesn't want to come in, they don't have to. They just
Hmm.
go and look at the shop. And they know me. Or they come in tentatively and they go out with all these extravagant pieces. So it's a very, don't knock it till you try it, basically. I mean, my husband is my accountant, and he's very, very conservative with his dress. So, but every now and then
Hmm.
I get him in one of my jackets or something. I think everybody wants at least a little sliver of that sometimes.
Yeah. So have you ever encountered any person who said you showed your dress and he or she says, "Oh, that's too much. I want something less."
Yes, loads of times. That's okay. It's also okay not to be everybody's cup of tea. And if somebody comes to me and they want maybe a very simple bias cut dress, you know, I would send them to somebody who's better at doing that than I am. Because there's room for everybody. And the people who want,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've had loads of people go, like, you know, I thought Liberace was dead. You know, I just love minimalism is not my strong point, but I love maximalism. I can't even say it, but anyway. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you actually get tougher with that as well. You know, it's hard to create a niche with something that's a bit different because people do feel they do want to comment on it, but that's okay. And I've learned to accept that through the years, you know.
Yeah.
If you were for everybody, it would be very boring. If everybody were, I mean, that's all nuns outfits or something, or school uniforms, you know.
Yeah.
Stand out,
Right.
you know. Life is, you've only got one life in this life anyway.
I would love to understand the creative process of yours. So, what usually sparks your inspiration for a new piece or collection?
It can be anything. It can be actually a customer that comes into me. I mean, I had a customer who came into me and she was getting married and she met her husband in Chilli. And she was saying, I want something really different for my wedding dress. And I thought, well, what about we do dried chili peppers on the bodice? And yes, she said, that's a brilliant idea. The brides that come into me are a little bit different. So we dried chili peppers. I cut them and my eyes were streaming and I cut them and embroidered them into the front of the bodice. And then she said,
Wow.
I have all these little trinkets and memories of when me and my husband met. So we put them in different parts of the dress as well. So it was almost like a walking memory for her. And the chili peppers were obviously a memory of where she met her husband. So that was very inspiring to me. And people who come in.
What a spicy dress.
Yes, exactly. The very first customer I had in the shop came in and said she wanted to be a tree. So for her 21st, and we made a bodice that looked like bark and, yeah, barking mad probably. But there is a real market for something that's different, especially in the music world and the singing world, you know. So that's, and the performing world as well, where they, you know, more is more rather than, my clothes probably aren't for shopping in the supermarket with, but you know, it would bring a smile to my face if I saw people wearing what I was wearing shopping, you know. So
What are some other interesting outfits that you created?
well, I've done for the Oscars. I've done the very first female conductor of the Oscars, Emer Noon, which was amazing. She rang me and she said, "Oh, I'm going to be the first conductor of the Oscars, female one, and you've got a week to make something." So it was like no pressure. And she said, I don't know what I'm going to wear yet. So I just started on this gold outfit. And then she sent me a message about 2 days later saying, I'm thinking of gold. And I said, well, I've already started a gold outfit for you. So we were already in sync, I think. And Milano Cookies in America, they did the 7 best dressed cookies at the Oscars. So they made a cookie out of who they thought were the 7 best dressed. And they made one out of that outfit of an Emo Noon, the conductor. So they sent me a picture of it, but obviously they couldn't send me the cookie because it would probably go off by the time I got it. So that was an incredible thing to do. And also Nile Rodgers from Chic, we did his outfit for the Oscars and Elton John party. And I designed it so it would glow in the dark. I didn't tell him that initially, so that was a nice little surprise for him when he was lying there looking at it and it was glowing at him. So little things like that always give a little bit of excitement to my work, I think, you know, and each piece is memorable for the person that you meet, you know, and the stories you get
Hmm.
from them. So I have hundreds of brides that I've done outfits for as well, and I've done stuff for Cannes Film Festival, and I made the dress out of kind of strawberry things that help strawberries
Hmm.
grow. A lot of these people don't know what
Yeah.
I've made them out of until afterwards, because I think if they
Hmm.
did, they'd be going, "Oh my God, I can't possibly wear on the Cannes red carpet," you know, something that's,
Yeah.
you know. But that's what makes it more exciting for me and more challenging for me as well. So like every day is a different thing that I get to design, and it's never boring. I've always got something new happening, you know, and somebody challenging me more and more, and bring it on.
Yeah.
You know, I welcome the more challenging, the better, you know. So,
Wow, that's beautiful. Especially with the creative minds. That's the most important thing.
but that's
Right.
it, you know. They really. I mean, I have one woman who's asked me to do her outfit for when she passes away eventually. She said she
Hmm.
just wants to look luxurious in the coffin in the open casket, which is, there's nothing wrong with her at the moment. So she's obviously just
Hmm.
preparing herself. But I love all that as well, you know. So that makes things so exciting for me as well. So
It can be quite difficult sometimes. I remember with Emer Noon for the Oscars, I had a vision of a long gold coat.
Hmm.
And she came in and I had the coat, all big long coat, and she was like, you know, I really, really like it, but I think maybe it's too long for me. So moments like that, you have to go with what the customer wants. And I got my scissors and I chopped the end off it there and then. And she was like, no, stop, stop. But once I'd done that, I kind of freed the coat as well, and it became a collaboration between the two of us as well, because she has to feel comfortable with what she's wearing, and if there's something, like if it's too long or if it's too dramatic, I can tone it down a little bit. So but normally, like, and with that was the only change we had to do. It was very funny as well. With, well, interesting, I had done a little pocket in the jacket. And I never normally do pockets in jackets, because I'm too lazy to do them. But I did it for that, and she started crying, and basically, her father had died recently, and he had bought her a dress and said to her, "If you ever get to go to the Oscars, this is the dress." And she said the dress was awful, but what she did was she took the little swatch of the dress and she put it in the pocket of the jacket. So when she was conducting the orchestra at the Oscars, he
Yeah.
was with her in her heart. So that was a lovely moment.
Yeah, but also that's such an emotional moment too
It's
for
very, yeah, it's very emotional when you deal with people and you do things like that. And
yeah.
with Nile Rodgers as well, he sort of says to me just to do the Claire thing. And I'm still kind of trying to work out what the Claire thing is. But at the end of the day, there's a
Clarity
reason.
thing.
I know. There's a
Wow,
reason
that's a good one.
yeah, they ask you for a reason and they don't ask somebody else. So you have to have the confidence to believe that they're asking you because of the work you do, rather than they want something that somebody else has done before. So that's kind of the way I work it. And at the end of the day, as I said, they're always, you have to accommodate the customer, but you also have to be true to yourself, you know?
All right. Exactly. Please have some water.
I swear to God, this day has just been bizarre.
uh,
Yeah. I'm not
I
going to
I
joke live.
I hope it's not because of me.
No, not at all, not at all.
Uh,
It's been a very busy, very productive day. So, but
mhm.
I love dealing with celebrities, but I also love dealing with like everyday customers, because I have this woman who's in her 80s, and we have a little chair for her, and she comes in, and we make all these mad pieces for her, But she loves the idea of it. And like, she's been coming to me for 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we might do somebody's wedding dress. And then when they have a child, we'll take the wedding dress and use a little bit of it for the christening gown. And then later on, if they're Catholic, which tend to be in Ireland, they have the communion, and we do the rest of it, little communion dress out of the rest of the dress. So it's being recycled and reused all the time for, 2 generations, and then, passed on to the next generation. And that's so important and so lovely for me, to see somebody coming back into you, 15 years later or whatever. Also Debs as well, like we've done a Debs from the wedding dress we actually did for the woman in the first place, for her daughter. So it's very, very special, and it's quite emotional when you see, I mean, I've got books of thank you cards and, pictures that they've given me, and you look back and you say, my God, all these memories. And so it's very, very, very special to me.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Claire, for sharing those moments, the emotional moments, and also what it feels like. It's actually more than a piece of cloth that we put on our body.
It is. And I remember when I started out and I was doing small mass production, if you want, small bits of everything, and it was killing my soul. But I thought I'd never be able to deal with customers, and I got an opportunity to rent this shop, and I took it. And I was so nervous of dealing with customers, but it's been the best part of it because of the stories and the influence, and getting to meet all sorts of different sizes and different shapes of people. And it's really been the best learning curve for me. And I would never go back to just shipping something out to somebody and not having that interaction with them. And I never thought that of myself at the time. I thought I would never be able to do it. So it just shows you grow and you learn all the time. And I've learned so much from my customers as well. Like, they're almost half of the inside my head when I'm creating stuff as well.
Right. I wanted to go a little bit, dig a little bit more deeper. How you think about the emotional side of fashion or the art that you create?
What do I think of? For me, they go hand in hand. As I said, when I was doing small production sections of pieces, I was doing like 100 of tunics and things like that when I started out, because I thought that's what I had to do. And it just had no value to me. As I said, shipping it out to an unknown person and then producing it again and again. For me, the heart and the creativity completely go hand in hand. And if I don't feel right about something, I won't let it go out. I've had customers in as well where they've tried on something and I haven't felt it's quite right, and I can't let them go out until I've persuaded them. And that's not to make it any more dramatic or anything. It's just I know that there's something that has to be done. It might be add sleeves, it might be, because I know when they go out of there, they want everybody else hopefully to say, oh, you look fabulous as well, and you look great, not that's a really bizarre, amazing outfit or whatever. It's about them, and it's about them making them feel good. And once I do that and I'm true to my own heart, then the two meet. It's like a cladder ring or something. It's like two pieces of a heart. I know that
Right.
sounds very ridiculously soppy, but I swear, like that's how I feel about it,
Yeah.
I mean, we just did a piece for Elle Vosk, who was a performer on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Mhm.
And I love that. I love, they don't know, they say they want, I think she said, oh, I would love a warrior look. And I just went and created something. And then seeing them come in with absolutely no idea on the trust on you, and
Mhm.
then trying it on, and then watching them on RuPaul's Drag Race, performing in it. I mean, it's the best antidepressant for me ever. Forget about drink, So yeah,
That's awesome. Thank you very much, Claire.
yeah.
So, our next segment is rapid fire.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yes, we got
We've
a
had a
few
lot of that
questions.
today already.
I'm sorry?
We've had a lot of that with computers going off and on.
Oh,
But
yeah. I mean, yeah, for those who might feel a little bit, off things, because we got disconnected
yes,
and we got reconnected after 2 hours. So this
but
this
we're
is the
back.
second part of the same webisode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sorry for the inconvenience to you, Claire, and to the people. Hopefully we'll be able to resolve it by the next time. So the first question: one word your wardrobe would say about you.
One word, my what?
One word your wardrobe would say
My
about you.
wardrobe would say about me: eclectic and chaotic, probably. Well, that's the same. Then I'll close the wardrobe over so I can't hear them.
Yeah, but Claire, sometimes do you feel like that maximalist is chaotic?
I think chaos and maximalism go hand in hand. I mean, my brain is like it's like a jack in the box. I lie there at night and I think constantly about images and textures and fabrics, and I go to bed normally at probably 11 o'clock. I
Okay.
get to sleep, honest to God, at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
I read somewhere you're supposed to go to sleep in 10 to 15 minutes. I just
Yeah.
lie there. It's like,
Brainstorming.
yeah, exactly. It's like another part of my work. And then 5 o'clock, I'll conk out and then I'm back up again. So, yeah, I don't think I need much sleep. I've survived this long without it. So,
So
yeah,
how many hours of sleep you get usually if you sleep at
usually I
5
get
or 4?
three,
3?
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that less than mine.
Yeah, well, you see, some people, and I think they said that some people can survive on that as
I
well.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've too much to do. I've too many pine cones to make into outfits and
Yeah.
cocktail stirrers to make into bodices. So
And even though with that little much sleep, we don't feel overwhelmed. It's like a regular, right?
well, my husband now, he'll go to bed and he'll sleep for 8 hours, and in 10 minutes he's asleep, and I'm like, how is it possible? Like, I actually researched it
Okay.
because I said it can't be. Other people must be like me, and then I realized most people do actually. They go to bed and they go to sleep.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of things I don't do normally. So creative people are probably.
And Claire, according to my survey, what I personally did, a lot of creative people, when they go to bed, they don't sleep. They just stay awake for hours. They just think about their stuff. How can they do that? How can they attach this patch to this piece? And what colors they can use, how they can sew, how can do this. And they think about all million things at the end of the night.
Have you seen The Queen's Gambit? It's a series, and it's about a chess player.
Uh-huh.
And at night, you see her in the series looking up at the ceiling and seeing all the chess pieces. And I could so relate to that, except it's not chess pieces for me. I'd see the fabrics and the texture. And my brain would be like a filofax of all the
Wow.
fabrics I've collected. Yeah. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Next question. Statement piece you will never retire.
probably my hair. You know,
That's
because
awesome.
I have
Dude,
different ones. My husband says if I pass away before him, he's going to line them all up
God
on
bless.
top of it. It's very weird. I don't feel like myself without it. And sometimes I secretly think I'm like Superman with his glasses.
Hmm.
When I don't have the hair, I think nobody will know who I am. And of course, everybody who knows me knows who I am. But I think I'm invisible, and then I just go, and then it's
It's
me.
it's like a like a throne, or what do you call it? You
Yeah,
put on your
throne
head.
or
Yeah.
it's like my superpower for me. I kind of go into me realm, if that makes sense. So I
Hmm.
think I don't care how old I get. I don't care. I've actually, my hair has actually, I've made three of them for different people, which is really weird because I always, they don't live in Ireland, but I always think I'm going to bump into them and, with exactly the same. I never
Wow.
thought somebody would ask, can I order one of your hair? But
Okay.
there you go.
I'll
Maybe
I'll emphasize it.
yeah, I should be a hairdresser in another life or something. So I keep adding to it. It's like yeah, it just keeps getting more and more crystals and beads. So yeah, I could never. Having said that's probably the only thing. Like even my wedding dress, I cut up and reused for work,
So you
which
don't have the original dress.
no, I've cut it up and used it for loads of different things, and that sounds a bit, but I made it myself, so it's kind of like, it had its purpose, it had its memory, and for me, it was ready to be put into another realm. And yeah, that's the only thing. So
Wow, that's cool. Okay, next question. Thrift find or custom creation?
both together. I think there's nothing better than finding a thrift find and tweaking it and making it custom. Because you could go into a thrift shop and you see something and then you realize it's pennies or something. You get really upset. It's not a vintage piece. But if you take that piece and you cut the sleeves and you add some sparkle maybe, or then it's yours plus a thrift piece.
So we can use the thrift store as sourcing the material.
Yeah, and there's incredible buttons and things that you can get in vintage pieces or secondhand pieces, and fabrics and things that are so beautiful that you don't get in pieces today. So I would definitely mix the two of them together. I've never had anybody make anything custom for me, bar myself. So and I go to lots of secondhand shops and chop things up and turn them upside down, and yeah. So combination.
What kinds of hobbies really get you excited?
Do you know, that's really sad because my hobby is what I do. Um, I watch MasterChef and cooking shows. I'm absolutely useless at cooking. But if you're asked, I have no other hobbies, but I love MasterChef. I've watched the Canadian one, the American one, the Irish.
Wow.
Um, so I sit there and look at all the beautiful food, and then I can't cook. So you think I'd learn to cook, but yeah,
You ever
hobby.
tried any?
Oh, I have. Actually, there's a funny story of my husband again, but I used to live in this apartment, and I invited him for a dinner. It's honest to God true. And I thought I'll try to cook roast chicken. I'd never cooked chicken before in my life. So I thought, what do you stuff chicken with? And I thought, well, I've seen chicken stuffed with stuff. So I thought, the salsa dip for crisps. I said, that must be seriously, that must be what you put in it. So I poured all this salsa dip into it, right? And then I
Okay.
tried to tie it together because it was all coming out, obviously, because it was salsa dip. And I got one of my shoelaces and I tied it onto it. And it was one of my red shoelaces. When the chicken came out, all the dye from the shoelace had spread onto the chicken, and the salsa dip had just imploded. My husband ate it.
Oh, the best part.
Yes.
He's the
Yeah,
best husband. I
yeah,
can
he
say
said it
that
was
now.
the most horrendous thing, and he does not let me cook now. So there you go.
Is that because of that reason, or is that because he can't see his queen cooking food in the kitchen?
Oh God, no! It's because he doesn't want to be poisoned. Like seriously. Absolutely. I've no normal skills. You know, like people, I can't open a door, or like basic things that people do. I seem to have a great trouble with, but creating is what I love doing. And really, every time my husband or my daughter goes out of the room, I start working again. And they come in and they catch me and I go, they say, would you stop working for a second? Or one day, my daughter came home and she said to me, Mum, where are the curtains gone? And I said, well, like, they weren't really great curtains anyway, were they? And I said, well, I needed them for something I was doing. So I literally cut the curtains to half of the size that they were. There was a little mini curtain instead.
Yeah.
That's my hobby. Creating chaos and disturbing everybody around me, unfortunately.
Wow, that's super cool.
Not if you live with me, it wouldn't be. Believe me.
I want to share why Zayshin exists. Most of us are used to buying clothes that look good for a moment, but don't last in quality, meaning, or impact. Zayshin was built the opposite way. Every piece we create is designed to be timeless, not a trend-driven, ethically produced, thoughtfully sourced, and made to be worn for years, not weeks. We believe sustainability doesn't need to be loud or performative. It should feel natural, intentional, and human. Just like the conversation you're watching right now. If you care about what you wear, who made it, and the impact it leaves behind, Zayshin was created for you. You can explore the collection and learn more at www.zayshin.com or tap the first link in the description. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
Okay, yeah. So next question is a very maybe inspirational one. What would Claire do in her life if she knew she couldn't fail?
If she knew she couldn't fail, I would be more confident with people. Trying to, I'd love to show something in the Met Gala. I would pursue that with much more vigor and really be annoying, so annoying that people couldn't say no to me. There are certain people who have that really get up and go persistence, and I'm not great at that. So I would love not to care and to persevere. I do persevere, but not to care in a way that I just go for it and I don't overthink it. So I would love to see one of my pieces at the Met Gala next year. I mean, that's what I would like, and I aim
Amen.
for it. But I just need another AI version of me to go and do all the scouting around, and the I've got the hair. I can give them the hair, and they can go off. And
Yeah, that's the superpower. If you just put your hair on AI, it's
yes,
gonna do the same thing.
send a
Get
whole
your
load
thought,
of them off, 20 of them off in different directions. So,
clone yourself.
yeah,
Okay, that's a good one. I
it's
thought maybe
always
you got.
go on.
Go ahead, please.
It's always been a problem of mine. I mean, there were opportunities when I was younger that I wasn't able, that I didn't pursue. You know, I'd ring somebody once and then I'd think, oh, I'd leave it. Whereas you really need to persevere with people sometimes. So,
Right, I agree. I actually thought maybe you're gonna say if I could cook.
no, I don't. I have no interest in cooking. Like, I could make it look lovely afterwards. Christmas Day, I do the decorations.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
Table is
of
lovely.
course.
And and it's the best sparkly, glittery time of year, so I'm very happy with that. So,
Right.
but no
Okay.
cooking, no. I really,
Okay. That's a good one. Okay, next question. How do you relax after a hard day of work?
I probably listen to a lot of crap 80s music. Yeah, I was a gothic in the 80s, kind of pre-Raphaelite gothic-y, kind of with lace, and used to go to all these clubs with dry ice and smoke. And so, yes, I love listening to that music. And I have very fond memories of that time because that's when I suppose, got my confidence and became myself. And having a bath as well, and a glass of wine, maybe, and something cooked by
Nice.
somebody else.
Right. Oh, this is a good question. What movie or book character are you most similar to?
Well, the really annoying thing that three different people have said to me, which I totally disagree, is Phoebe and Friends. I don't know if you've seen Friends.
I heard of that. Oh, yeah, yeah. The Friends. Yeah.
Friends, Phoebe. She like sings songs about dead cats and things like that. She's a bit insane. So people have said I'm like her. I would like to be like Audrey Hepburn or somebody like that, which I know I'm not. Frida Kahlo. I would love Frida Kahlo. I'm more like somebody like her than Audrey Hepburn, obviously. But yeah, people have said I'm like Phoebe from Friends, or any sort of kooky, sort of tree-loving person. They seem to think I'm like, So I'm much more down to earth than that. I don't go hugging trees or anything. So.
Nice. Good one. What moment would you redo if you given the chance?
I would redo a moment in college when I had an external examiner said to me, "You probably don't know the designer, but Romeo Gilli would be very interested in your work, and I work with him, and you should send him a message." And that was from what we were talking about earlier. I rang once, left a message, as if they're going to quickly ring you back. I never pursued it again because I thought, oh, he doesn't want to hear from me. I regret that I didn't have the confidence to do that, because everything is like the film Sliding Doors, I almost believe. There's two paths that you can take. I sort of think maybe if you die, you get to see the other path that you might have taken. And if I'd been more confident then, a lot more doors would have opened earlier on for me. So yeah, I regret that. So Romeo Gilli, I don't think he even designs anymore, but if he is around, I'll give him a ring.
That's such an important learning of a life that you just said. I wanted to ask you a question, a follow-up question on that. What advice would you give a younger person who is listening to it right now, listening to you right now?
First of all, to persevere. I've given people work experience, and I have so much work sometimes to do that I might not reply to an email the first time. I know that seems really rude, but sometimes I get sidetracked. So, exactly what I was saying earlier, you keep not hassling somebody, but you keep till you get an answer from people. And also to follow your own heart, and don't listen to people around you who tell you you have to be a certain way. You don't. You can find your own niche, and there is room for everybody. So follow what you believe in your heart and keep going, and be a bit annoying and keep knocking on the doors, because people, all at the end of the day, all they can say is no. And why is that such an awful thing, So, I've learned the hard way, and I kind of, that's what I would advise young people. They'll all be sending me hundreds of messages now to do work experience. I'm only joking.
No, that is beautiful. Thank you very much, Claire. Next question. Last but not least, uh, favorite fabric, shape, or element you love to use?
Favorite fabric shaper element. I love foam, and I love kind of yoga mats. because they're so sculptural and you can reuse them afterwards. I did a dress for a girl who was a yoga teacher and she was getting rid of yoga mats. So I washed them, and she was in the ladies' day at the horse racing wearing a dress made out of yoga mats. So it's a very pliable fabric, and of course it's not a regular fabric, but I love it. And you can do your yoga beforehand as well if you feel like it. So, yeah.
Multi-purpose.
Exactly, or you can do your yoga wearing it. Lie down on the ground and you've got your yoga mat on and you're sorted. So,
Last question from Rapid Fire. Finish this sentence. It's a fill in the blank. Fashion for me is.
honesty. Fashion for me is being honest to the person, to yourself, and to the people that you're designing for. That's what it is, being truthful. No bullshit about, oh, that looks wonderful on you, oh, blah, 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 so you can get money, or you can have your vision only. It's honesty, and it works both ways. So fashion should be about honesty, and there's so many dishonest brands and all of that around. So anyway, that's what I think it should be.
Great saying. Thank you very much, Claire. We did great. You did great for this rapid fire segment. But it's not over yet. I'm gonna take a little bit or more of your time because I love sitting in front of you and I can feel your aura, and especially the throne that you have on the top of your head. I wanted to know about it more. How did you find this out that this is my style, or how does this elevate it?
I studied in Moscow. I did a master's in costume design there. Now, that was a long while ago, before all the stuff that's happening now and everything. And they used to let us go to the museums and look at all the costumes. And I looked at the kokoshniks. So the Russian headdresses are these kind of kokoshnik things, and it was inspired by that. The very first one I made in Russia, because at night it was so cold. It was minus 20 degrees, and you couldn't really go out. So I sat there in the room with a little heater, making little hair pieces for myself, inspired by Russian kokoshniks. And actually, when I was there, people I never knew what it meant at the time, but I'd be wandering down the street and people would go, Tsigan. And I didn't realize what it was, but Tsigan is actually gypsy. So they used to think that I was a gypsy when I was over there. But yeah, so that was just another side thing, but anyway, cultural things. But yeah, I loved my time in Russia, and that's what it kind of reminds me of. They were very similar to Irish people at the time. And the Общежитие, I lived in a 13-story building up there, and by the time you got to the 13th floor, you'd have met all the students on the way up. First floor, the second floor, having a glass of vodka. Fourth floor, glass of vodka. Sixth floor, maybe. So by the time you got up, no wonder I was making bizarre Russian headdresses for myself, I had so much vodka, I thought they were wonderful. And I came back and then continued the trend, not the vodka, but the trend of yeah.
That's a good one. You said you made 3 wigs like these, or what did you
Yes,
said about 3 things?
3 different ladies came in. There was an American girl that came in, and she said to me in the shop, oh, I love your hair, and could I order one? And it was like, and she's blonde, so I made one very similar in blonde, and we did kind of crystals in it, kind of clear crystals. Then the other one was a lady in her 70s who came in, and she is American, and she said, I love your hair. Can I have your hair? So I just never thought. I have a full shop of things that people can buy. Like, I wasn't expecting people to order my hair. It's not as much fun doing it for somebody else because, again, it's that thing of reproducing something almost. That
Yeah.
it, although it's not the same, it's similar. And when I'm doing it for myself, it's like I don't really worry how well done it is because it's just for me. But if I'm doing
Hmm.
it for somebody else, I really have to, So it wouldn't genuinely be something I would want 100 people to order. So it's just as well it's a bit odd, and nobody generally wants to order them. So yeah,
Wow, that's awesome. That's a good story.
it's
I
it's
love
bizarre,
that.
and I really should get picked. There was another lady actually as well. This one was absolutely lovely, who came to me, and her mother was, I don't know, had cancer, and she wanted me to create not quite this, she said, a more subtle version of it. So it was a smaller version of it with hair attached so that she could go out to events and things and not feel that she didn't have hair,
Very
because
empowering.
yeah, and that was beautiful moment as well to do that. But I never thought my hair would have so many stories. And that's why it's the only piece that I would keep. So in a fire, I'd run in for it.
Nice.
Clutching skull. Yeah,
Right. Of course. You keep your throne anyway, right?
I, I try. Yeah.
Okay, Claire. One more thing which I'm very fascinated about, and I would love to know about it. I wanted to share with our audience too, with how you integrate sustainability in your dresses. Because when we define sustainability, or most of the people define sustainability, they say less, more quality, minimalist. Again, I'm using this word. But when we see your design, it's maximalist. We assume that, and which is true, that you put a lot of artwork on your dresses. So where is the sustainability? How do you
The
use it?
sustainability is everywhere in it. It's the pine cones that, I mean, I paid my daughter, I think it was €5 to go and collect a whole load of pine cones when we were having a picnic one day, and I made a bodice out of that. Secondhand shops where I buy pieces, I cut up my own dresses. So I love, it's almost like a patchwork thing, if that makes sense, of loads of little pieces that I've found or collected, like plastic bits that are being thrown out. I was cycling recently and I came across a hubcap on the road and I made a corset out of it. So it's everything I use is not rolls of fabric which I order. Everything I use is either pieces that I found, um, jewelry and things that people donate things to me. I'm like well known in the area. People say, "Oh, who will I give that to?" And they say, "Well, give it to Claire." And people come in. I had a lady who came in with her mother's wedding dress from the 50s. Her mother had passed away, and she said, "Look, I'd love you to do something with it. I want to give it to you. I don't, just do whatever you want." And I was going to New York, showing in New York, and I thought, this could be my final piece for New York. I had all the other pieces done, and I changed into a blue and purple and really decorated, made it completely different. I used beetroot dye on it as well to change the colour of it. And the lady came in and she started crying, and she said that her mother had always dreamt of being in New York on a catwalk. And I just thought it was lovely when I told her and showed her it, and she said, "Oh my, that her mum would love it." And when that model walked down the catwalk, all I could think of was that was her mother having her moment. So that's what sustainability is to me. So
That's such a deep moment and realization.
It's so beautiful. Like she gave me the gloves as well, which I hand dyed with beetroot as well, and just it was meant to be. And so many people are so generous with things they give me that they would have thrown out otherwise, or you know, something like that. It had to be New York Fashion Week. It had to, that, there was nowhere else it was going in my mind, and I had no idea at the time that her mother really had always wanted to go to New York. So,
That's
um,
amazing. Do you see that emotional recycling as a part of what makes your design sustainable too?
yes, absolutely. Because sustainable can be old pieces that had a life before you put your hands on them. That there was somebody else who loved that piece that's now being thrown in the rubbish. No, you take that piece out that somebody loved and hopefully love, or that somebody didn't love and just bought it and threw it away. You take that piece back and you put love into it and you change it around. So you're giving that piece love and you're creating something either out of something that had special memories for somebody or something that didn't and giving it special memories. And then seeing somebody new walking out with it on, it's just so beautiful. I mean, I put so much work and layers and beading into everything. And all the beads and things I find in secondhand shops, and I don't buy them, in bulk or anything like that either. I find and they speak to me, and I put them in a little filofax in my head, and I know that they'll be for a certain outfit that I'm working on. And I've boxes of stuff, that people have donated and I've bought from secondhand places. So
In simple words, what sustainability means to you?
sustainability is giving new life to pieces that were once cherished. Um, to me, that's what sustainability is, and giving it a different lease of life, whether that be total maximalism, which is what I love doing with it, because the piece is so happy. It has to have lots of joie de vivre kind of thing, So yeah, it's even turning something mundane into something magical, and that's what I love doing.
As far as you could remember your past dresses that you have designed, what was the most fun and sustainable dress that you made?
I think the most fun and sustainable one was when I made for the Miss Universe Ireland for it was the national costume, and I based it on Cleona, goddess of the sea, and it was from hundreds and hundreds of plastic lids that were discarded from a factory, and there was no fabric in it whatsoever. It was all plastic lids, all stitched together and all hand dyed. So that, and to see her then walking up on stage with it, and she got great praise for it, which was lovely as well. But sewing that plastic was one of the hardest. My hands afterwards, there's must be 1,000 plastic lids in it, that were going to be thrown out, and I did not want to use any fabric, and my little bleeding hands afterwards, but it was so worth it. And of course she could go out in the rain and she'd be shielded with all her plastic lids. But it's also transforming it so it doesn't look like plastic lids. Whatever I find, I want to make it give it a new. Maybe it's like when I put my hair on, I'm somebody different. I want that piece to be something different, so that's my absolute favorite piece that I've ever done. And probably, we had such trouble trying to get it into a suitcase to go over
Right.
to, I can't remember, it was Rio or somewhere, and I was literally trying to sit on the suitcase to get it in. It was it was a huge piece. So yeah, so it's gone now, and.
And can you describe what it looked like on the stage, the colors, the movement, and
I had
overall
hand
feel of it?
dyed pale blues and see-through plastic, so it was all very oceany looking, and it had big kind of shoulders on it that looked like, you know, icicle kind of. She was like a walking ice mermaidy goddess, and the whole thing about Cleona, goddess of the sea, is she is supposed to protect the Irish seas from pollution and from, you know, and all this rubbish. So for me, it was a perfect goddess for her to be, because this was a walking plastic ocean, and all these pieces would have ended up in the ocean otherwise. So yeah, I mean, if anybody's interested, they can Google it, and hopefully, you know, they'll see it. But I loved it because, and I made little crystals out of the plastic as well by just kind of bending them and melting them. So there's kind of little crystals hanging down. So they're like icicles from the sea as well. So
Right.
yeah.
And do you think designs like that can help raise awareness about environmental issues through
Yeah,
art and fashion?
absolutely, because they mentioned all of that about sustainability in the Miss Universe. There were a few magazines that picked it up abroad as well, that talked about it. So the more, I also did one out of the plastic lids a few years ago for the Junior Eurovision, for the Irish contestant for that. So the more you create things and let people know that they aren't made out of that, you haven't bought this fabric from, you know, AliExpress or something, or, you know, that you've created something new from something. It makes people say, well, God, I can wear this to an event. I can, you know, I can sing in this. I can go to Cannes Film Festival. I can wear it at the Oscars. That it's not just something, you know, that you put on at Halloween, for example, and go, oh, look, I'm sustainable. That you can be sustainable every day of your life, you know? So,
That's right. Claire, remember we talked about it during our intro call, and as I could see behind you, there's so much temptation for me. I can't miss this chance. Show me some of your gorgeous pieces that you made, if you can, please.
okay, let me see if I can get one or two of
Yeah,
them.
I'm sorry to bother you for this one, but I'm not sorry at the same time because I wanted to see.
So, this is one of the corsets that I.
Is that crystals or what is it?
This here at the top of this is strawberry. They're things for helping strawberries grow.
Okay.
I got them from, I was growing strawberries, and I'm not now, so I took them from there. And these are recycled beads that I got as well, and there's foam in there from yoga mats as well. You can see there the pieces at the sides, they're from
Yeah.
yoga mats. So it's a very sort of Egyptian themed corset, but
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yes. Right.
layers of details. And if you want as well, you can have the boots to go with that.
Huh.
So
Oh, oh, wow.
so the funny thing is as well, this and the Egyptian, I did a whole series of Egyptian things, but this came from my duvet in my bedroom. And we had an Egyptian pharaoh duvet, and I couldn't resist. I took one off the pillow first of all, and my husband didn't realize. And then I took the other one off the other pillow, and then I had to take the rest of the duvet as well. So basically, that's what those are there. So
Have anyone tried this on yet?
no, but it's going to be in a. I'm doing a wearable art, a wearable art exhibition in February,
Ah,
on the 21st of February in the Paris Court House and Gardens, which is it's a gorgeous place, and
where is it? Oh,
it's
you
in
just said.
Wicklow. It's in Wicklow in Ireland, and it's a huge big room overlooking mountains. And so I'm having models, but I'm also having mannequins, and they're all going to be wearable art sculpture pieces. So there's so many, like, you know,
Wow.
this is one of them as well. So this is so, so. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well. So this is. So, this is one of them as well So that's one of the pieces. So this is a bodice as well. For that, I have a huge skirt that I'm working on as well. These are from vintage curtains. So they're the ties from vintage curtains. And this is
Same
all,
one your daughter was asking for
no, this is a
about?
different one.
Oh, just a different.
They just have to keep buying. This here, the wadding for this was from the duvet that I took, the Egyptian duvet. So I used the wadding to stuff those pieces as well for that. So that's another one. I mean, there's loads of different pieces. This is another. So that's a dress there. And the pieces on that were from a beaded curtain, you know, like a door curtain.
That
I
is.
took that from that as well. So they've all got their own.
Claire, how much time it took you to make one dress?
That's why I only sleep 3 hours a night, I think. I'm kind of juggling a lot at the one time, so I sort of it's a bit like cooking, except I'm good at it, hopefully. I have 5 on the go, 5 pans of outfits on the go at the one time, and I'm probably better not knowing exactly how long things take because, you know,
What about those 5 when you start at the same time? How long does it take to finish all of them?
I suppose a few months, but you're also doing orders as well, and I, the people who work with me always say to me, Claire, step away from it now, it's done. And I'm going, no, it needs more. No, it's done, Claire. Stop. And it's like, so yes, I have a problem with I love embellishment and layers of detail on stuff, but I'm my own worst enemy then, because I have a photo shoot for the this wearable art exhibition on Sunday, and I have 5 huge pieces to finish off for that for Sunday. I will do it, but it's like, as I said, minimalism. I wish I was a minimalist designer because
I don't think you need that.
so, yeah. So these are massive. They're the biggest size pieces I've ever done, and yeah, it should be interesting. But I will get them done.
No, I believe as long you're doing the maximalism the way you are doing by ripping off your house, it's
I,
fine. You're
I
repurposing.
Yeah, I didn't tell you as well. Well, when I first moved in with my husband to be, and I was making my wedding dress, we moved into a new house, and like it was a house that was people owned before, and they had left these little chandeliers on the ceiling. Now, it wasn't a fancy house or anything, but I kept looking at them and saying, oh, they'd be lovely on the bodice of my dress. So again, I did the same thing. I took a few off initially. And then eventually my husband-to-be came in and went, where the hell have all the lights gone? They're all gone. And I had taken every last bit and put them on my bodice, and I chinked up the aisle.
Well, you can look at me
Yes,
instead.
exactly. So I was like, yeah. So he knew what he was getting himself into, really, so yeah.
Wow. I, I don't know what to say. I have no words. It's just amazing. I wish I could be the part of that event in February. Do you have anything for men edition? I mean, I don't really care. The dresses
Well,
you
you can
showed
do
me,
it. Hang on.
I don't mind wearing them, to be honest.
Right now. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I love those.
Okay, so we have our Blade Runner
Wow.
jacket there.
Blade Runner.
So it's got kind of zip cuffs as well. So that's for somebody if you don't want anybody messing with you, or you need a bank loan and you want them to. Well, maybe not if you need a bank loan, but if you want to hold up the bank, maybe. So that's one of my menswear, and this is another one as well. This is more kind of dramatic one. So
Wow.
so
What is that? Is that a lights on or is that just a fabric or some kind of a
these were
shiny
actually
object?
from a makeup bag that I had with my makeup in it, and yeah,
Pure example.
no longer my makeup bag, obviously,
People
because I
see
got.
that she is repurposing everything.
Well, that's you have to in life, you know. So, well, you don't have to, but I do. And then the back of it is kind of got an oceany sort of feel to it as well. That's all hand beaded as well. So, yeah. So,
So Claire, is there any application I can fill on to be a model for your event?
oh yeah, just come here or fly me over there, and I'll bring all. You'd rock them.
Oh, I would love to.
You'd rock. I mean, we've done, as I said, we've done stuff for Burning Man. We've done an awful lot of stuff for guys as well, which was something I never thought I would do when I first did stuff for Nile Rodgers.
Yeah.
That kind of opened the the floodgates for me doing stuff for guys, and they look so cool in them. And yet you can do something maximalist, but if you wear it with something, they might wear it with something simpler, you know, than I would put with it, and it looks good on them, you know. So yeah, I'll have to arrange for you to come over, and you can do some modeling here. And
Oh, I would. Yeah, it's now on my bucket list. Either I would go there, or whenever you come to New York, or we get a chance,
well,
we'll
you have to
definitely
visit
do
the
it.
shop. Nobody gets out. I was going to say nobody gets out of here alive, but they do get out alive. They get out hopefully feeling happier and more empowered. People say when they put the pieces on, they feel
Yeah.
empowered. So
I love the shoes that you showed me first. The Asian. Oh,
yeah, well, I'll show
I
you
just
these
love
quickly.
those.
Wait now. These are. This is another one of my pairs of shoes as well. So they're quite blingy and quite David Bowie-ish kind of shoes with the big heel on them as well. So we have everything in here. We'll have shoes to match your outfit as well. So when you come over.
Oh, okay. I will. Claire, you mentioned that you are your own enemy when you're designing stuff because you go in so much details, and I could definitely see that. So when you look others designers stuff, how do you react on that? What kind of details you look into their designs, or how you usually react on those designs?
I think it's quite interesting because I usually admire designers who can do what I can't. And rather than, I also love people who do similar type of things, but I sort of, yeah, I veer towards people who do something that I can't, like, you know, the perfect fitted suit and things. I just, it kills me, but I just wonder how they can do that without putting all the beads and things on. I was always saying as well, when I do a fashion show with other designers, all the other designers' outfits are all beautiful and neat on a rail, and mine are just like Armageddon. It's like they're all over the place, you know. And I've often admired the fact of these beautiful, pristine cream and white clothes that I just can't even contemplate making something like that and sitting nice and neatly in a row. So I admire different talents and different skills that people have, you know, and you know, I think everybody has their unique niche in life. I don't understand minimalism really, but I am in awe of people who can do it. Just like hopefully some people might not understand what I do, but they might like it, you know. So
Wow, that's awesome because you have set such a standard of looking at the things, or an eye that you have on the dress. So
But I love color as well, and I always find it quite interesting that an awful lot of designers just wear black. And yes, I know they say, well, it's, you know, but I do believe that you should be part of your clothes, and you know, you should be an extra piece of your art. That's what I believe. I don't believe in just wearing black, or you know, if you're a creative designer, I think you should express yourself walking down the street as well, and you know, so
beautiful. I love that. I mean, I just got so excited after looking at the dresses. I could just go on for a whole day now. But we'll
you're
keep,
getting a flight now in about an hour, are you?
yeah, let's finish it quick and I'll just fly right over. Okay, Miss Claire. Our next segment is community questions.
Okay.
So these are the questions are coming directly from the people who are the audience of our webisodes. So what we do is we upload a story on our social media channels and we share about the guest and their social media profile and ask people what they think about and what are the questions that we can possibly ask to the guest. Okay?
Okay. No,
Awesome.
no pressure.
No pressure. Yes. So all the questions are from them. If any question offends you, that's not me. Disclaimer.
Great.
No, I'm just kidding.
And
But thank you. Okay, first question. Okay, wow. Me too. I love your bold designs, but I'm nervous to try anything that stands out. How do I get over the fear of people judging what I wear?
first of all, if you live in Dublin, come to the shop and try stuff on. Secondly, start with something small. Start with one little quirky thing that you like. You'll find people will say, people are very receptive to creativity as opposed to what people think. People love seeing somebody who's unusual and different. And I think life is too short. Start with something small, add another little thing, go to a club or something, find friends who like dressing up as well, and that'll give you a little bit of confidence as well. But at the end of the day, you need to feel confident in yourself to wear anything, and you just got to own it. So it's quite hard, but start small and add, you know, as you go along. I mean, when I went to NCAD and I saw everybody dressed flamboyantly,
Uh-huh.
it just gave me a little bit of confidence that they were walking around so happy with themselves. And
Yeah.
so the more you subject yourself to people like that and see people in, go to creative events as well, go to gallery openings, things like that, where you can actually, people expect people maybe to be a bit
Yeah.
unusual. So find a few
Right.
galleries around you and start going to art exhibitions.
That's a good one. I mean, I love the question. And I want to tweak it a little bit because I have a same question for myself, which the tweak I'm going to do is how do I get over the fear of people, not the people, but myself? Because I don't really wear clothes that, you know, are too shiny or like too much loud, even though I love to. But whenever I wear them, I just feel odd. I just feel like maybe I'm wearing too much or maybe too trendy or maybe something like that. How do I overcome that? It's just myself.
The more you do something, the more comfortable you are with it. It's like everything. Every other thing in life you learn step by step. You get on a bicycle, you can't cycle. You think people are looking at you because you're falling off the bicycle. You
I remember
eventually
that.
get on and you cycle. I couldn't swim. I used to go into and put my knees on the end of the pool and pretend I was swimming. Like people knew I wasn't, but you get over it by doing it. The more you do something, the better you get at it. And that's with everything in life. So you wear something once somewhere, and if even one person says, well, you know, you look great, that'll give you the extra little bit of confidence. It
Hmm.
shouldn't come from other people though, but eventually it'll come from you inside, and the people that do say something negative, then you won't care about, so you need to find out what you would like. What would your ideal you look like? What would they wear? And then once you realize that, if you had all the confidence in the world, then start a plan on that.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Claire. Next question from community question. I really want to add more personality to my outfits, but I don't know where to start. What's one easy thing I can do to make my style feel more me?
There's so many things that you can do, like a brooch, like a neck piece, like any sort of jewelry will instantly, like, I have jewelry and that people will come up to me and say, oh, where did you get that necklace? Or, buying something in a vintage shop that, speaks to you as well, and wearing that and even finding the story out about it, or wearing, you know, little things that you can put on, like bracelets, like necklaces, like scarves as well. A vintage scarf or something like that. A bag that really speaks to you, or even embroidering a bag or doing something to it. So any little thing like that. Bags are brilliant. My bag is a helmet, a recycled helmet, and I bring it everywhere with me. And people think that I have a motorcycle, but it's actually a bag. So it's a little talking point as well. And actually, if you're shy as well and uncomfortable, you think people are looking at you, it's a great thing to start conversations with people. The people would say, oh, I love that piece. You have a story behind it, or, oh, where's your motorbike? Well, actually, this is a bag. And you break the ice with
Yeah,
people rather than
right.
even having to work at it. Your
Hmm.
pieces, your accessories are doing it for you.
Wow,
If you like
that's
poetry, for example, maybe print a little bit of the poetry on a t-shirt would be a fabulous thing to do as well. So
right. Thank you for that. Next question. Okay. I have always admired statement pieces, but I feel like I can't pull them off. How do you help someone build the confidence to wear something bold? I mean, all the questions are for the confidence, I feel like.
and the confidence, as I said, comes like if you went to Dublin and you put on one of those jackets and you went out with me and my friends. First of all, you wouldn't feel alone. You'd look at me and go, oh, I'm all right. Look at the state of her, you know.
A
And
full force.
but you know, the more that you go out and do these things and go to places where there are people who are interested in dressing as up, that will give you confidence. There are places you go where you actually go in and you go, oh my god, I feel so boring and underdressed. Go to those places. There's fabulous pubs. There's gay pubs, and there's burlesque bars, and there's all sorts of dramatic places that you could go to, and as I said, galleries as well, and openings that you can actually go to and be part of that group if that's what you want and that's what you feel, because it's such fun dressing up, and it's so boring. Like, we spend half our lives in our pajamas, like, well, I 3 hours for me, and you, but like, life is about expressing and joy, and so I would just go for it. Feck anybody who is a begrudger, so says I with a smile on my face.
Last but not least. Okay. She says, wow, Claire, your work is so unique. For people who are on budget, what's a realistic way to bring more creative or artistic elements into our everyday wardrobe?
I rent stuff as well. So it was something I started doing about a year ago or 2 years ago, because I figured that was the problem I had, that I thought some of the pieces, they were so labor intensive that it was a lot to expect people to be able to afford something like that. There are loads of shops now where you can rent a dress or rent a piece for the evening. I mean, in my shop, I've got headpieces as well that are under €50. Maybe that sounds like a lot to some people, but for a designer piece, it's not too bad at all, you know. So I try and keep pieces that are affordable. I want everybody to be able to wear the clothes, and if they rent it, then they can wear it for the night as well. So look for rental, look for vintage pieces as well. I mean, you can't beat, especially places like kind of that don't know how good how good the pieces are. So you might find, like, in an old country place, there might be a secondhand shop there. You'll find a really interesting piece there, you know. So yeah, there's so many easy ways. Or have a look in your own closet and chop stuff up and customize it as well. So, or send me in and I'll customize all your stuff for you. I'll just link the closet there and be grand.
Right. Actually, one question. You said you rent some of the clothes too. Did anyone ever try to mess up with your designs, or not intentionally, but accidentally something happened to your dress which you put hours and hours of work? And how did you react on that? What you did?
I'm not very precious about stuff. That sounds a bit weird coming from, like, if somebody wears it and some little thing happens, that's, you know, they were having a good night, obviously, so they were like jumping up and down and dancing. I would fix it. I mean, if you're renting something,
Yeah.
things can happen, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be the type that has a problem with it. I've never had anything major happen, you know, with anything. But yeah, I'm not really precious. Once they've gone, you know, they're gone, and you know, I rent the pieces as well, and they're gone for the night, and they come back, and they might, you know, I wash them and any little bits that need fixing, and
Yeah.
that's fine. You know, at least, as I said, they're not standing there in a corner with a glass of water.
Right.
And I want people to live and express themselves in the clothes. So.
You're too brave to rent that out. I mean, if I'm you and I design those dresses, I'll just put in a glass in museum. I would I would never let anyone touch those, because the amount of efforts and creativity you put in, that's just priceless.
A lady who bought one of the dresses actually has it framed, the whole dress, and got a glass.
She knows the value of it. See,
Well,
I'm telling you.
I mean, it's lovely to think that somebody. And there's another lady who buys my pieces and doesn't wear them, but she has a room that
Okay.
she keeps them in and goes into it and just wears them at home, and then lives her normal life as well. So, you know, it's very,
Wow.
it's lovely when people want the
Oh,
pieces.
yes. I love that. Okay. Last question from our community questions. Okay, yeah. Hi Claire. I've been following your content for a while and I love your creativity. Okay, she's one from your side. If you could challenge us to try just one fun or daring style experiment this week, what would it be?
What would it be? I don't want to see anybody with my hair anyway. What would it be? I think I'd love to challenge people to try some 80s style, as in Gothic and New Romantic style. So look at that era and bring it to life. There's loads of tulle skirts and frilly shirts and leather trousers and things, hard and soft together. So if anybody is, send me some pictures of their 80s inspired looks.
That's cool. Thank you very much, Claire, for this segment. You did great.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Lost, yeah.
that's right. Yeah, we're about to be on our time for the webisode. I mean, it was such a fun conversation, one of the best conversation I ever had. And I said it before even we started, right? You remember if you can. I love that. And it was worth waiting between.
I know it's been 3 hours altogether or something. It's epic.
Not 3, it's almost 4 because we started at 10 and now it's 2:13 here. So
My
it's
God.
almost 4 hours.
Well, you're going to go off out now and get yourself a lovely 80s inspired jacket and wear it out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love the jacket that you showed me. It's that looks like a Ghost Rider jacket.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
As I said, I'll see you in an hour or so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay, for Claire, so the people who stuck around with us for a while, and I'm sure they had a great time listening to our conversation, especially you. What message you wanted to give to them?
Just thank you to anybody who's listened and anybody who supports my work or supports any artist, because it's so hard for people to create pieces and make a living when you're competing against these big, awful mass-produced places, and it means so much. So if you have artisans in your own area, support them and buy little gifts this Christmas, and follow your heart and follow your dreams, and don't be scared because we've only got one life.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. And Claire, where people can find you?
My shop is in Dublin, in Cows Lane Temple Bar, or I'm on Instagram, Claire Garvey Designer, or www.clairegarvey.com, or TikTok as well. So yeah,
Beautiful.
all the exciting places. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I do my best anyway.
No, that's cool. All the links that Claire mentioned, you can find into the description. Go check out and support. If you're supporting designers, support the meaningful designers, which has purpose and a story behind it, the stuff they make. And I love that. Thank you very much again, Claire. Thank you very much to the people. But one more thing which I added recently to our webisodes, and I always asked the guest previously, is how many languages can you speak?
I can speak Irish, English, and Russian.
Okay.
I did do French in school, but yeah.
Okay. You would have to give a message in those languages that you know, and beside English, and people who are listening to it would comment what you said. You don't have to tell me what you said.
Nasatatu an will tu gama. Ja na gaviru pavuski. Ja gaviru nimnoshka. There you go.
Nice. What language was that?
The first one was Irish.
You said both the languages?
I said both, yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Sounds similar. The first one was Irish. The second one was Russian.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Russian.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a little bit favor. Say something good or about the host, what you feel about the host in those languages.
Tá Zéjin Gahaling. There you go.
Thank you very much. Please let me know what she said. And yeah.
I'm only joking.
Oh, okay. Now it's recorded. Now everybody knows what you said, beside me, but I'll get to know what you said. And I'll see you guys with the next one. Take care.
Take care. Thanks a million for that. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.